Hello guys, welcome back to my chronicle about Odoo tips and free trainings. Today I will talk about the documentation in Odoo v9. When you go to odoo.com/documentation, you reach the more technical documentation of Odoo. You'll find information about installation, website programming, and anything technical you can dream of. Strangely enough, you also find the mementos that are totally functional and I would say completely displaced. Anyway, you can surf through the technical stuff, but for me, this is not so interesting. I'm not a developer. So let's go to something that is more useful for most of the people that are not developers, is the user documentation. So to reach the user documentation, you need to go to odoo.com/documentation/user. And here you have the functional documentation. We must say it's not yet finished, but let us dig a little bit more into what is claimed to be finished. It should be the accounting documentation. The first thing you say is that the layout of the documentation is agreeable. The fonts are well chosen so that you can really differentiate the part of the documentation, so it's easy to read the documentation online during hours if this is what you wish to do. So well done. The structure is also very clear and logical. And what I especially like is the fact that you have the possibility to see some of the processes. The first thing I noticed is that there was no spell check done. I would have liked that they have bothered to do a grammar check. I believe that the effort of doing a grammar check and really so low in comparison to the effort of writing. So just the extra mile, I believe Odoo should have gone there. So I would say I don't like the fact that there are too many mistakes in the documentation that is official by a large company with 200 people. It doesn't look very good, especially if you're a customer and you check the documentation and there are lots of mistakes. You kind of, okay, if they don't check their documentation, they don't spell check it, how is it gonna be for the rest? What is the quality standards of the company? I must say, even if it's annoying, the positive point is that many people working in the Odoo world are not English speakers, so most of them may not even notice the mistakes. Nevertheless, let us now go to the content. I read the chapter, The Accounting Behind Odoo, and I was unimpressed. Absolutely no concept is explained. It sounds more like a list of features. Odoo's core accounting engine supports. Odoo's reports include. So it's a list of features in different domains of the accounting, totally useless. So especially when you are expecting something like the accounting behind Odoo, then you will expect more than that. I really love the memento, and I love the fact that it is fully integrated in the documentation. So very good points. Then there is a presentation of the implementation guide. I have presented yesterday what is the implementation guide. It allows you to go step by step through your Odoo ERP implementation, but it's not for everything. You need to go module by module, and here it is just a link showing you that there is an implementation guide. In order to know what is inside, you really need to go to Odoo and go through the implementation guide. I went through the documentation, the accounting documentation. I must say, in general, the quality is sufficient, sometimes mediocre. Sometimes I even had the feeling the people writing documentation did not really understand what they were writing about. Just like, you know, developers that are writing some documentation. But, and there is a big but, the documentation now exists. It's a reality. It can be used and it can be enhanced. So I would encourage everybody to make comments in GitHub and support the effort of documenting. It's really a plus for everybody, for the customers, for the developers, for the consultants, and It's quite easy to participate. It doesn't take so much time. If many people participate, it's going to be done quite fast. I know that some people have already started to translate this documentation in new languages, and Odoo is organizing. Now it's going to come out in the next few weeks. It's organizing the full translation of the documentation. In conclusion, despite the fact that Odoo claims how different it is from other softwares like SAP or Oracle, in the end, what I noticed being an SAP consultant myself is that they have taken some of the best practices from SAP and Oracle, and they have implemented this in Odoo. So it's a great move, because now we have a system that is on the edge, that is really technically very advanced, that has revolutionary concept, disruptive technology, and we still can work on some of the assets from the last 40 years. So I believe that Odoo is becoming an innovative system that is not only for Python hackers, but for real people with real companies doing real trading. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the show.